welcome back. My name is Violet. This is Violet Tries Planning. In today's video, I'm going to show you a whole bunch of new palettes that have entered my collection, talk about them, and yeah, let's get into it. So, over this past almost year, I have decluttered, I want to say around 12 palettes. That is a lot. I've fully realized that I've been holding on to some for just because I don't want to get rid of them, and then I want to keep some because I'm like, I know I'll use it, and then I'm never getting around to use it, or just whatever. So this palette is actually one that I bought myself, and it's kind of my early Christmas, like really early Christmas gift. I don't have it with me because I ordered it a couple weeks ago. It's Belle Cosmetics. Unfortunately, that brand is closing down, I believe for good. I know that the owner is probably going through a whole bunch of, just personal issues and problems, and they're just unfortunately having to close it. Wanting to try that brand. It's of course an indie brand. They have like beautiful, gorgeous like duochromes, and I've heard great things about their formula. So I ordered the collaboration palette, I believe it's called Tropical Nights, from Delanci Beauty, who's also here on YouTube as well as Instagram. I will link everybody and anybody in the description box so you can go and support them as well. But yeah, so this palette is originally $40, half off, 20 bucks, and I was like, that is a really great price for that palette, for the indie, for the duochromes, multichromes, for the formula. So that is my early Christmas gift. Well, I say early, but it's November, beginning of November. And then another palette, it's not in my possession, won't be for a while, depending on when I can snag it, but I'm hoping to snag the Cosmic Brushes Muse palette. That is another palette from Cosmic that I am eyeing a whole lot, and I was so close to getting it secondhand for an incredibly steal price, but I was too late in buying it. I really tried so hard, but it slipped. So that is my next palette. I'm hoping either one of my friends on Instagram has it and they don't want it and they can sell it to me for really cheap, or I find it on Mercari for super cheap as well. So that one is my next, like, for sure early gift as well. But the first palette is the BH, I almost said Blueberry Cosmetics. BH Cosmetics Blueberry Muffin. This one was actually gifted to me by Annika Blends, which she will be linked in the description box, of course. I like this palette when I saw several people on my Instagram feed use this palette, and especially Annika herself, like creating such beautiful, the way that she blended her shadows, the way that she created the looks with this. I was like, I want this palette, and I was seeking this one out on Mercari or secondhand websites to see if I can snag it for like a really good deal. There was a few, but I guess I was also just too late in buying. But this is the palette. It is a cool tone blue palette. There is some purples, there is like a little pinky champagnes, there's a silver. I have used this one already 4 times for my series 4 looks 1 palette that I'm still doing and going to bring over into the new year. The palette is beautiful. I loved all the looks. I won't really show y'all just because it's not really the point of this video, but yeah, it has a mirror, which is interesting because this one had this one's a 16 pan palette. I have the Passion in Paris, which is 16 pans but doesn't have a mirror, so I'm like, interesting notice there, but just beautiful palette, great quality. The shimmers are just top notch. The next palette that came into my collection, this one was gifted to me from DW, which again, her channel, her Instagram will be linked in the description box. This is the Ace. I want to say it's Beauty because of the little indication above the E onto the palette, but on the website it has a different marking on it. So you pronounce on Ace Beauty, and this one's Ace Beauty. So I'm not quite sure how to correctly pronounce it. I did look up how to pronounce this though, and it says as in T, like t-shirt. So I don't know. But this is the Flare palette. I believe this is the newer quality based on the thickness of the packaging, because I believe this brand, according to her and according to others, have rebranded several times, and I think they're still going through a rebrand again this time around. So but yeah, so they had this palette way before. It was in a skinnier packaging, and I believe that was the old formula. Then they listened to their customers, reformulated it, and made it into a more fatter, thicker packaging. So this one, I believe, is that. But this palette is beautiful. I have been loving playing with this one, as with all of the new ones in my collection, but this is definitely fall color story to me. There definitely is some like summery tones, or wintry tones, springy tones, but like the quality of this too, oh my gosh, it makes me want to seek out other Ace Beauty palettes because this is just beautiful. Definitely created 4 looks with this one as well. I continue to use this one because it is just so much enjoyment in this one. I love the oranges. I love that there's like some blues, a green. This one, oh, funny enough though, as much as I love like bright colors and interesting colors, I really loved Bayberry and Biscotti, which they claim Biscotti too is like a dual chrome, which I would have to agree because I did layer it 2 different times on different shadows and it did come out to be different in both looks, but those 2 shades are ones that I just love, and I'm like, of course, the basic 2, the 2 that I don't think I would like are the ones that I really love. Next one is my baby. Like, this has been my baby since I've gotten it. Also gifted from DW. This has been in my wish list for, I want to say, a year. It's been newly added into like a highlight on my Instagram, but in my head, in my mind, it has been in there for the past year. I didn't say it. I think it's Uden's Eye, the Sol Monday 2 palette. Okay, like this palette, it's got a nice like velvety sort of like feel to it. It's so interesting, so cool. I mean, artwork is absolutely beautiful. I think it's this is supposed to represent like sun and moon, I think celestial sort of things. Correct me if I'm wrong, or I'll correct myself in post editing. But yeah, this palette, you guys, every single time I create a look with this, I am just loving it so much, and I do not want to take it off. The quality of this, the mattes are soft. They are incredibly smooth. I feel like these are pigmented, but they're like not intensely pigmented, but they're soft, but they're not too soft. And the shimmers in here, they show up top notch. Like, ugh. I think I've used glitter glue on some of them, and some of them and other times I haven't, and they've shown up both ways. Just so sparkly, so beautiful. And while this palette doesn't look like much, it just has like blues, purples, and then this row of like orangey yellow warm tones and a black. You're like, there's not much variation in that. This palette is gonna be just like a 1 time or a 2 time or just like whatever. Oh no, I will tell you right now, every look I've done looks different than the other, and it's all created with this one. Next palette is one that I talked about in my like spooky Halloween tag thing. It was like a sporadic video that I did. I did buy this one secondhand off of Mercari. This is a palette. This is the ColourPop Hocus Pocus Gather Round Sisters, the very first collab that ColourPop did for the Hocus Pocus movie, because it's based on the original first one. But this palette also has been one that over the past, I want to say like 2-3 years, I've been wanting. I've debated 3 times to get it, and all those 3 times I talk myself out because I'm like, well, it's still too much, or I don't need it, or it is beautiful, I can wait, or, you know, like just always those second guesses in my head is like, or those voices in my head is like, man, you don't need it, man. It's like a devil and angel on my shoulder type thing. But I found it on Mercari, $5. I said, oh, that is mine. It was meant to be. So the color story doesn't really look exciting, I will admit. It is not that like, wow, dual chromes, wow, this interesting, wow, like there's really not much to it. The thing that I loved about it is the packaging. Like, yes, I was partly buying it for the packaging, but also I wanted a spooky Halloween palette. I really love Hocus Pocus. I always watch it every single year. I love the colors of their dresses incorporated in here. I love some neutrals, you know, I love the like somewhat like cooler tones here. So this palette, I cannot wait to play more with. Next up is the Shroud Cosmetics in collaboration with Beauty Bean. I think she's changed her name to Batty Bean, and her real name is Betty Jean. It's a bunch of bees, baddies, beans, you know. But this is her It's Freaking Bad palette, the first one she did, because her second one is called Halloween. This is another palette too that was gifted by DW. Something that I've also wanted. When I saw the collaboration, at the time I've heard of Shroud, and then I saw this palette and I was like, wow, like that is a beautiful color story. Like that is so interesting. Like I love all like the greens. I love like greeny blue, like this blue, and there's like this purple that looks black, and it's just so much coolness in here. It doesn't look like it offers much, but it does. I've created, I think, 2 looks with this so far. Next palette has also been gifted to me by DW, and this is the collaboration with Scooby-Doo by Glamlight. This is also another palette I've been wanting. I was on the verge of purchasing this myself, but of course I talked myself out of it, and I said, you don't need it. You've got shades in your collection that look like this. And then come to find out, I don't think I really do. I probably could have come close, but I wanted Halloween. I love Scooby-Doo. I used to watch it when I was little, probably not as often, but I definitely did watch it. So it definitely has like nostalgia feels to it. I do want the other one too. It's called Rut-Row. This one's called Creeps and Crawls. And this one is that very moody, dark, like very like sultry, sexy sort of palette. Beautiful. I love that there's equal mattes to equal shimmers. I love the range of shimmers in here. You definitely have some light tones. You definitely have the darker tones. You have a light mattes and then darker mattes. Like you've got kind of the best of all the worlds in here. And of course, every look is going to be very deep, moody, very like wintry almost. So the newest palette in my collection and gifted to me as well by DW. This is the ColourPop Orchid You Not palette. Orchid You Not. Sounded like I just combined those words in one. This one is actually a palette that I have been seeking secondhand for like a really, really affordable price. This palette I wanted because of the purple tones, because of the word saying orchid. It does hold a special place in my heart because my cousin and my mom, more so my cousin, is the expert in that, who grows and loves orchids. This is the inside of the palette, and this one also is a very moody, very heavy purple tone. There's like a little bit of mobbiness to it, a little bit of like shimmery. It's a shimmer, like silvery purpleness to it. This one is gorgeous. Yeah, I've played with this once. Oh, my heart was so filled with joy. Like, oh, I cannot wait to play with this palette some more. I loved it. And yeah, I know that I'm definitely going to enjoy using this springtime, fall time, year-round time, pretty much. But and these next 3 are actually given to me by the same person, which is still Steph, or at least that's her Instagram handle. First palette is the Clarity Cosmetics Safari palette. This one is just so, I think it's adorable. So adorable. The names in here are very much safari, zoo themed sort of names. Like, don't be a cheetah. Don't worry, I will wait. Or giraffing me crazy. And I was just like, that is so freaking cute. But this palette, like, how can you not just be amazed by it? It is just beautiful. Like this cool tone, gray blue, so unique. This like really rich, like raspberry, cranberry red. Oh, divine. Oh my gosh, I cannot. Purple. This deep blue. Like, I cannot wait to play with this palette. And the packaging on this is cute. It's beautiful. Next palette, and I cannot believe I have this palette in my collection. I definitely want more palettes from this brand. I have been eyeing them, and I also put it in indie brands I want to try video as well. Fantasy Cosmetica. I have a Fantasy Cosmetica palette. Like, it's just wild to me, and I am so happy that I do. This is the Rogue palette. I eye their palettes because of the like warlock, wizardry, fantasy aspect to it. It very much feels very Dungeons and Dragons-esque, which I'm not a player of it, but I am, a game nerd. I do love board games. I do love video games. I'm very much, so another love of mine. So combining those two is very fun, but they're shimmers. Like, how can you not? Like, those, oh my gosh, like, I just want to put them all on my eyeballs. But yeah, I've not played with this yet. Color story is just so interesting, so fun and different to pair the blues, the greens, and the purples all together. But I'm just eager to use this. And the last palette is a brand I've been wanting to try recently because they came out with a Little Mermaid palette, and I want that one so bad. I am eyeing that one on secondhand sites. I am checking every single day, hoping someone will have it for really, really affordable price. Like $20, please. Anybody? I'm begging you. but I'm also getting to try this brand. It's called Sigma. This is the Enchanted Mini Palette. This is what it looks like. The little insert is beautiful. Like, it's a holographic. I'm like, do I want to throw it away or do I want to keep it? I normally throw them away, but they're not ever this pretty, so I'm like, is it worth keeping? Maybe. This is the Enchanted palette, the mini one. They do have like their normal full-size one, but this palette is so pretty. Like, look at those shimmers. Look at that middle one, Metamorphosis. Oh my god, like, I cannot wait to dig in. This is going to be like a really great palette for, I say this, but when am I ever going to? On days where I'm like, I just want to throw on some eyeshadow and head out the door. Not really think, but I think that this one will do that. But yeah, it's just beautiful color story. I cannot wait to dig into this one. Definitely have a lot of palettes to use and try. But that is everything I wanted to show y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is something that I really wanted to film, and if you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear from you. And as always, have an awesome rest of your day and your week, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye, guys.